Can I ask you a question? When was the last time you allowed yourself to receive something good without questioning whether you really deserved it? When was the last time you accepted a compliment without diminishing it? Embraced an opportunity without feeling like an imposter? Let someone help you without carrying guilt? If you hesitated just now, if something inside you whispered, "I don't know," know that you're not alone in this struggle. Worthiness isn't something we need to earn. It's like sunlight, shining equally for everyone, never asking who did something to deserve its rays. There's something deeply human about doubting our own value. It's as if we carry an inner voice that measures, weighs, judges every bit of happiness we dare to want. But that voice isn't your truth. It's just an echo of old memories, of moments when someone made us believe we needed to be more, do more, be different to be worthy of love and abundance. And today, together, we're going to begin rewriting that story. Breathe with me now. Feel the air entering your lungs. That free gift life offers you every single second. You don't need to deserve oxygen. You don't need to prove your worth for your heart to keep beating. In the same way, you don't need to earn the right to be happy, to prosper, to be loved. I want you to repeat with me, out loud or in the silence of your heart. I deserve all the good that life has to offer me. Say it again, slower. I deserve all the good that life has to offer me. Feel these words. It doesn't matter if you don't fully believe them yet. The seed of truth has already been planted in the soil of your consciousness. Let me explain something important about how your mind works. Every thought you cultivate is like a frequency you transmit to the universe. When you constantly repeat, "I don't deserve," "I'm not enough," "Who am I to want this?" you're tuning your life to a channel of scarcity and denial. But when you consciously choose to think, "I deserve," "I am worthy," "Life wants to bless me," you completely change the frequency you're vibrating at. It's not magic, my dear. It's simply the natural law that whatever we focus on expands. It's like planting a garden. If you spend your days pulling up flowers before they even bloom, telling yourself you don't deserve to see them flourish, your garden will remain empty. But when you water the seeds of your dignity, when you allow the light of worthiness to touch every part of you, something extraordinary begins to happen. I'm going to teach you a powerful exercise. Tomorrow morning, before the rush of the day takes over, before you pick up your phone or dive into tasks, I want you to place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating there, constant, faithful, that organ working tirelessly for you without ever asking for permission or approval. And say to yourself, "Good morning. You deserve a wonderful day. You deserve to be happy today." It might seem simple, maybe even silly. But this small morning practice is like opening the curtains in a room that's been closed for a long time. You're letting the light in. You're telling the universe, "I'm ready. I'm open to receive." Now I know that right now some inner voices might be rising in protest. "But I've made so many mistakes. But I'm not as good as that person. But if people knew who I really am." I recognize those voices. They're old companions, aren't they? These beliefs were planted in you long ago, perhaps in childhood, perhaps in difficult relationships, perhaps in painful moments when someone you loved made you believe your value was conditional. But here's a truth that needs to be said with clarity and love. You were taught to doubt your worthiness. You learned this, and everything that was learned can be unlearned. Think about a small child, 2 or 3 years old. They don't question whether they deserve love. They simply open their arms expecting to be embraced. They laugh without asking permission. They cry when they need to without shame. That child is still alive inside you, my dear. They never doubted their own worth. It was life's experiences, harsh words, rejections, comparisons that began building those walls around your heart. But resistance to receiving is like holding your breath. You can do it for a while, but eventually your body demands you let go. Life is constantly trying to give you gifts, but when you close your hands in tight fists of "I don't deserve," how can you receive anything? Let me share another image with you. Imagine you're in a river of abundance. This river flows constantly, carrying opportunities, love, joy, prosperity. Everyone is in this river, but some are swimming against the current, struggling, exhausted, repeating to themselves, "I need to fight harder to deserve to get there." Other people have built dams around themselves, blocking the flow, saying, "I can't receive this. I'm not worthy." But there are those who simply allow themselves to float, who trust the current, who open their arms and let the river carry them. They're not being lazy, they're being wise. They've understood that the river already knows where to go, that life already wants to take you to good places. Your job isn't to struggle, it's to allow, it's to trust, it's to receive. What position have you been in? Fighting against the current, building dams, or allowing yourself to float in the natural flow of grace that already exists? Repeat with me now. I release all beliefs that tell me I'm not enough. I let go of the need to prove my worth. I am worthy simply for existing. There's a greater force in this universe. Call it God, universe, divine energy, whatever feels most true to your heart. This force isn't judging you. It doesn't have a checklist of requirements you need to fulfill. It's constantly sending love, opportunities, blessings in your direction. The question isn't whether you deserve to receive them. The question is, are you willing to open your hands and accept them? Imagine now a circle of golden light around you. This light isn't just protection, it's affirmation. It's the universe saying, you are loved, you are guided, you are protected. In this circle, there's no unworthiness. In this circle, there's no not enough. There's only complete acceptance of who you are in this exact moment, with all your imperfections, all your doubts, all your unrealized dreams. And in this space of acceptance, something miraculous can happen. Because when you stop fighting against yourself, when you stop spending all your energy trying to prove you deserve to be alive, all that energy becomes available to create, to love, to grow, to receive. Did you know that miracles aren't necessarily big, spectacular events? Sometimes, the miracle is waking up one day and realizing you didn't criticize yourself in the mirror. Sometimes, the miracle is accepting someone's help without feeling indebted. Sometimes, the miracle is simply feeling, even for a moment, that you're exactly where you should be. These small miracles are available to you every day, but you need to be receptive. You need to trade control for trust. Because when you insist on controlling every detail of life, on constantly proving you deserve to exist, you're actually closing the door to the natural flow of abundance that wants to reach you. Think about the ocean. It doesn't force the waves to the shore. It simply flows, and the waves arrive naturally. You too can choose to flow. You can choose to trust that life wants to support you, nourish you, make you thrive. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a tree growing in a fertile valley. This tree doesn't wake up every day wondering if it deserves the rain falling on it. It doesn't question if it's good enough to receive nutrients from the soil. It simply extends its roots and absorbs. It simply opens its leaves and receives the sunlight. There's no internal debate, no checklist of requirements. There's only natural receptivity. Now imagine another tree in the same valley with access to the same rain, the same sun, the same rich soil. But this tree somehow decided it first needs to prove it deserves to grow. It contracts its roots, closes its leaves, and keeps asking itself, am I good enough? Have I done enough to deserve this? This tree, even surrounded by abundance, remains small and thirsty, not from lack of resources, but from lack of receptivity. Which of these trees are you? And more importantly, which one do you want to be? Gratitude is one of the most powerful keys to opening the door of worthiness. Because when you acknowledge the blessings you already have, even the small ones, you're telling the universe, I see, I recognize, I'm open for more. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about honoring what's already good in your life. Tonight, before you sleep, I want you to find 5 things you're grateful for. They can be simple things. The soft bed where you sleep, the clean water you drank today, a smile someone gave you, the fact that you made it to the end of another day. Write them down if you can, or simply whisper them in the darkness. This simple practice begins training your mind to see abundance instead of scarcity. And when you practice gratitude, something interesting happens. You begin to realize you're already rich in so many ways. And when you feel rich, you naturally attract more wealth, not just material, but wealth of experiences, connections, joy. Maybe you're thinking, but I've spent so much time feeling unworthy. Isn't it too late to change? Let me be very clear with you. It's never too late to come home. And home is the feeling of peace with yourself. It doesn't matter how many years you've lived doubting your worth. You can begin rewriting it now, in this moment. Think about a garden that's been neglected for years. Weeds have grown, the earth has hardened, the flowers have died. Someone looks at that garden and says, it's too late. It's ruined forever. But a wise gardener knows differently. They know that beneath that hardened earth, life still exists. They know that a single seed planted today can bloom tomorrow. They know it's never too late to start again. Your heart is that garden. It doesn't matter how much time you've spent cultivating thorns of self-criticism. It doesn't matter how many seasons you've let pass without caring for yourself. Today, in this moment, you can plant a new seed. The seed of worthiness. And with gentle care, with water of compassion, with light of awareness, that seed will grow. I once knew the story of a woman who spent 50 years of her life believing she didn't deserve to be happy. 50 years telling herself, I'm not good enough. At 60 years old, she heard for the first time someone say, you deserve love, not because you did something special, simply because you exist. And something in her awakened. Something ancient and true remembered itself. She started small. 1 affirmation a day. 1 moment of kindness with herself. 1 choice that honored her worth. And you know what happened? Her life didn't transform overnight. There were no fireworks or dramatic revelations. But little by little, like the dawn that comes gently, she began to feel different. She began to treat herself differently, and the world around her responded to that new energy. 50 years of unworthiness didn't prevent her transformation, because the truth about who you really are never dies. It just waits, patiently, for you to recognize it. Every day is a new opportunity. Every breath is a fresh start. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be completely healed. You just need to be willing to take 1 small step toward believing that maybe, just maybe, you really do deserve to be happy. Pause for a moment. Let's do a deep reflection exercise together. If you can, grab a paper and pen. If you can't, Just allow your mind to explore these questions with honesty and compassion. First question for your journal. What story do you tell yourself about why you don't deserve? Write without filter. I don't deserve because, and let the words flow. Don't judge them. Just observe what emerges. Now, look at that story you wrote. Where did it come from? Was it something someone told you when you were a child? Was it a painful experience you interpreted as evidence of your unworthiness? Was it a comparison you made with someone else? Right. This story began when... Here's the most important part. Is that story really true? Or is it just something you believed for so long that it became true in your mind? There's a difference between a universal truth and a belief we build from pain. Right. The real truth about me is, breathe deeply now. Feel the weight of those old words. And now, with all the gentleness you deserve, ask yourself, am I ready to let go of this story? Even if it's been my companion for so long? Let's go deeper. Second question. When you receive something good, a compliment, an opportunity, a gift, a moment of joy, what's your first internal reaction? Do you accept with an open heart, or immediately look for reasons to disqualify it? Right. When something good happens, Third question, and this one might be challenging. If you truly believed you deserved to be happy, abundant, and loved, what would you have to let go of? Sometimes, we maintain our limiting beliefs because they protect us from something. They protect us from risking, from disappointing, from being vulnerable. Write courageously. If I allowed myself to fully deserve, I would be afraid of. Now we arrive at the most expansive and exciting question. What new story do you want to start writing? Not the story of who you think you should be, but the story of who you are when you're free from the chains of unworthiness. Write as if you were writing the first chapter of a new life. The story I choose now is, what would your ordinary day look like if you woke up tomorrow, believing, truly believing, that you deserve everything good? Describe in detail. How would you drink your morning coffee? How would you look at yourself in the mirror? How would you react when someone offered you help? How would you choose your clothes? How would you talk to yourself throughout the day? And when challenges appeared, as they always do, how would you respond from that place of worthiness? Right. When things get difficult, I will remember that. Last question for today. What opportunities have you been letting pass because, deep down, you don't believe you deserve to embrace them? That job you didn't apply for, that relationship you sabotaged, that dream you shelved, that rest time you deny yourself? Write a list. Just observe. No judgment. And now, choose one. Just one of those opportunities. And write, I deserve this, because, and fill that space not with achievements or justifications, but with the simplest truth. I deserve this because I exist, because my life has value, because yes, you don't need to have all the answers today. These questions are seeds. Let them germinate in you. Return to them tomorrow, next week, whenever you feel you need to reconnect with your deepest truth. The words you say to yourself, out loud or in the silence of your thoughts, are powerful tools. They build bridges or walls. They open doors or close them. And you have the power to choose those words in every moment. So choose to say, I am worthy of love. Choose to say, I deserve abundance. Choose to say, life is on my side. Even if your mind doubts, even if your heart hesitates, keep saying it, because you're planting new seeds. And with time, water, and care, they will grow. You're not alone on this journey of recognizing your own worth. Millions of people around the world are learning the same lesson. We're all walking toward the understanding that worthiness isn't something you earn. It's a birthright. It's your natural inheritance as a human being on this planet. So today, right now, make the decision to start treating yourself like someone who deserves everything good. This might mean saying no to something that drains your energy. It might mean saying yes to something that scares you but excites you. It might mean simply resting without guilt, or celebrating a small victory without diminishing it. Repeat with me this final affirmation, and let it settle into every cell of your being. I deserve all the good that life has to offer me. I am worthy of love, of abundance, of joy. The universe supports me. I am safe to receive. I am open to the blessings that are already on their way. My dear, you've come this far. You're here now, reading these words, hearing this message. This isn't a coincidence. This is life inviting you to a new beginning. Accept that invitation. You deserve it. You always deserved it. And you always will. Remember, the universe doesn't make mistakes. You're here for a reason. Your life has value. Your dreams are valid. And yes, you deserve to see them flourish. So it is. And so it shall be. Until our next meeting.